Hi folks, I'm Steve Hindy for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness. The first quarter of the year isn't up yet, and you haven't even heard all of our individual stories, but already the shark team has been active in 8 states: Illinois, Wisconsin, South Carolina, Alabama, Maryland, Minnesota, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. We're working against animal abuse as only we can, because for years we've invested in and trained to use the latest technology on the front lines to document and expose animal cruelty. Let's take a brief look at the issues we've been dealing with. In Maryland, we learned of a live pigeon shoot at Schrader's Outdoors, a canned hunting club. After receiving a tip, investigator Stu Chaffetz traveled from New Jersey to Maryland, where he gained access to the property and filmed a massive burn pit filled with the charred bodies of pigeons, ducks, and geese. Stu also filmed a worker for Schrader's who not only admitted that there had been a pigeon shoot, but then went on to shoot some of the surviving pigeons of that event right in front of Stu. All of it was captured on video.
What do you mean?
All the shit.
I thought they shot clays here.
They had a pigeon shoot here too already.
They hold pigeon shoots here?
Yeah.
What,
Well, not all the time.
how often do they hold pigeon shoots?
No, I think once a year maybe.
Really? So what, I mean, is that like sporting clay? Do they launch it?
They let them out of trap.
Right.
In Illinois, Shark is using its Angel drones to document potential dogfighting and cockfighting supply operations. So far, we've met with the applicable police and animal control agencies and some elected officials in Will and Kane counties where the activities are occurring. If the authorities cannot or will not take action, we will propose new laws to prohibit the grouping of animals that can be used for fighting. In February, we traveled to South Carolina to expose pigeon shoots at the infamous Broxton Bridge Plantation, a former slave plantation turned canned hunt club. We were last at a Broxton Bridge pigeon shoot in 2012, and one of our drones was shot down. This time we brought the latest drone technology, including cameras with much more zoom. Our Angels successfully gathered graphic documentation of unbelievable acts of depravity by young teens and even preteen boys and girls against the wounded pigeons. After their horrendous treatment, the kids dumped the birds into garbage containers while still alive. Broxton Bridge, desperate to stop our drones from documenting their indefensible cruelty, had multiple thugs in the surrounding woods with rifles to shoot at our Angel drones. 3 of the drones were in fact shot, representing a loss of thousands of dollars and constituting federal violations for shooting FAA-registered aircraft. Even when Colleton County Sheriff's deputies arrived, the thugs continued their shooting. The Sheriff's Department stated all this in a comprehensive police report. In fact, we were able to prove that Broxton Bridge owner Jerry Barn lied to the police.
I'm not normally this wound up.
Now we hope that the Colleton County Attorney and the Federal Aviation Administration will do their jobs and prosecute and fine the perpetrators. Meanwhile, as previously mentioned, we have the documentation of the animal abuse, and we'll use it on Broxton Bridge Plantation for as long as it takes to make the cruelty stop. Just a few days after our trip to South Carolina, we were in Wisconsin to document a ridiculous chicken-throwing spectacle in the town of Ridgeland. This was an event put on by idiots for idiots. Having just lost 3 drones to Broxton Bridge thugs, we did not use our remaining Angels, but did the best we could with regular cameras. This nonsense is reminiscent of the equally stupid pig wrestling event that Shark exposed a few years ago in Stevensville, Wisconsin. You may recall that a Catholic parish was sponsoring that abusive event, and that our pressure resulted in an end to the event. Interestingly, Ridgeland also has a pig wrestling spectacle, although not nearly as big as the church's now defunct operation. 5 pigs were subjected to this idiocy as opposed to the dozens that were abused during the parish pig wrestling, but we will still try to make change by exposing the abuse and embarrassing stupidity. Just to round out the mindlessness, there was a donkey basketball spectacle the night before in the neighboring town of Prairie Farms. Not surprisingly, cameras weren't allowed, so our investigators did the best they could with hidden cameras. These events are pointless except to teach children that it is okay to terrorize and abuse animals. This area of Wisconsin apparently takes pride in being stupid and abusive to animals. That may sound very strange to people with active brain cells, but if you've been there, you'll understand. In March, we traveled to Mobile, Alabama, to document a pigeon shoot held by the Alabama Forestry Association. Similar to U.S. Federal Senator Jim Inhofe's defunct pigeon shoots, live pigeons were tossed up in front of pitiless shooters who simply shot the birds and left them whether they were dead or still alive. It was utterly cruel and wasteful. When the slaughter was over, a few shark investigators went onto the property and rescued dozens of wounded pigeons. We also retrieved a few hundred bodies of the dead. After finding a rehabilitation center for the still living birds, we traveled to Montgomery, Alabama, which is where the AFA is headquartered. We then dumped the bodies of the dead pigeons onto the AFA's property. We didn't do it secretly, and we didn't run afterwards. And the AFA is apparently too embarrassed to try to take any legal action against us. We don't often commit civil disobedience, but this was an instance where action had to be taken. On March 15, we were in Prior Lake, Minnesota, to document and expose another Ducks Unlimited live pigeon shoot. As in years past, the cruel shooters demonstrated that their violence extends not just to animals, but to people as well. One of the killers drove his large SUV off the road intentionally at two of our investigators. Another driver threatened investigator Janet Enoch with his pickup. We've been told that this case has been sent to the office of the Scott County Attorney. However, with their history of ignoring previous criminal acts, it is possible that this will be buried as well. Going forward into the rest of the year, Shark will be active in many more states, and we hope to be using our new hovercraft, dubbed the Osprey, for animal rescues both in killing contests and after natural disasters. Other groups aren't using our technology, but again, nobody does animal protection like we do. I want to thank the small but dedicated, hard-working Shark team for accomplishing more than the big groups with huge staffs and enormous bank accounts. You might not think it would be a small organization that would be on the leading edge of harnessing technology for animal protection, but most of the big groups focus their technology on fundraising, not activism. If Shark had even a fraction of the resources of the large organizations, we would have dozens of small, well-equipped teams working across the country. You don't fight animal abuse in offices and in galas. You fight them where they occur, on the front lines. Shark hasn't forgotten how to make change. We'll keep going to the killing fields and the arenas of torture and anywhere else where we can expose the suffering of our animal friends. I hope I can count on your support to keep us going, because there's a world of cruelty waiting for someone to do the right thing. I'm Steve Hindy for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness.